Legal disclaimer: nothing I say, do, or post and claim your real name or any other platform should be considered legal advice. If you want legal advice or require legal advice, please contact a qualified legal expert and they can advise you on whatever you need. Today is the 10th of July 2025, and this is just a quick open Zoom meeting. Hey, Frank. Hey, just waiting on some other people. I don't think many people are going to be joining today. They're probably enjoying the nice weather. We'll just give them a few minutes, so I'll put myself on mute. Hey, Chris, welcome. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes to see who else joins, and then we can get started. Can you hear me all right?
Yes. Hello, Tegan. I can hear you well.
Fantastic. You enjoyed the nice weather?
Oh, yes. Brilliant.
Glorious day, isn't it? Yeah.
I know, no issues with that.
Can't moan. I don't care if it's hot, it's still lovely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have that big of a crowd today, so we can just start now. If you have any questions, shoot. Who wants to go first, Chris or Frank? Or...
I saw it. No, I just listening in. No, everything's pretty good.
No problem. I can give you a quick update on what I'm doing. So the court case that I'm suing about my mobile phone, that's proceeding to the local court now. So I haven't got a date on that yet, so it's still proceeding. I believe before I said I attempted mediation. It was not the best experience. Obviously, you can't say what happened in the mediation in the court case. It's completely private, but I was not impressed with how it goes on, And mediation is something you need to do before you go in front of a judge. The other party acted very dishonorably. And then other stuff, so council tax renewal. So I got a summons for that for a second time. So the first one went away. I will keep you updated how the second one goes. That's due for 3 weeks' time, I think. So I'll keep you updated. I'm trying to appeal that, so I'll let you know what happens on that. And then I've sent off a few DSARs with non-compliance for some energy companies and some other stuff. So I've filed some data breaches for non-compliance of DSARs with the ICO. And then I've also contacted the financial ombudsman on a few things relating to financial matters. So obviously none of it's finished yet, so I don't want to talk about it until it's finished. But obviously when it's finished, we can discuss what I did on certain things. I'll have to redact certain information, but hopefully all that will end soon. I am keeping my little spreadsheet or my little diary. So every type of mail that's coming in, what I do is I write the company name, the date I received it, and a quick summary of what it is. And then when I send something, obviously I write company name, I put it sent on the specific date and a summary of what I responded to. And this has been coming in so handy for court cases and stuff, because I found the other solicitors lying quite a lot, saying they sent stuff that they didn't send. And I just had everything in this quick summary. I can filter it by company, and it's just been a lifesaver. So I would highly recommend everyone do that if they're dealing with anyone. It takes a bit of time at the beginning, and then it's just 2 or 3 minutes a day to keep updated. It's nothing, because if you try going to court without that and prepare, you're just going to fail miserably. And that is my very quick update at the moment. Does anyone else want to talk about anything?
And sorry, who do I send it to if a company hasn't done the DSAR?
So if you
Northern Ireland as well.
Yeah. So let me just double check that now. You might have your own commissioner in Northern Ireland. Let me just double check. Just checking now. It might be the same one. It might not. So you have your own ICO office in Belfast, but it looks like it's just the ICO anyway. ni@ico.org. So if you just wanted to file a data breach complaint, how do I do that for Northern Ireland? I've never done one for Northern Ireland, so I'm figuring it out for you right now. It looks like it's the same website. with the ICO. So you just go on ico.org.uk and make a complaint. I'll put it in the chat for you. And literally you just make it through that. It will ask you for the company information, what you want to do. You know, you obviously want the company to be fined, stuff like that. So there you go. I'll put it in the chat. It looks the exact same, Frank.
That's brilliant, Tegan. Thank you.
No problem. There's a huge backlog. So it used to be 16 weeks. It's gone up to 24 weeks now before you get a response. So make sure you have everything. What I do is I take screenshots and I put it onto one Word document of all the emails and stuff, and I just save it as a PDF and upload that, because you're limited in how many files you can upload, obviously. And you can just put it organized by date or something, you know? Oh, so you can have all the emails in the one thread. You can save them as a PDF on your iPhone, or you can just use the snipping tool on the laptop.
Well, I actually wrote letters and posted it to them, but I recorded the delivery. So
do you have copies of the letters of what you sent?
Yes.
Screen, like a picture from your phone or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You can use that then. So you can upload those pictures into a Word document or like onto your computer, copy them onto the Word document and save it as a PDF, and then you can upload it.
Brilliant. Thank you.
No problem. But you know, there's so many companies getting data breaches. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And they wouldn't have 24-week delay coming back to you if there wasn't, you know. And once you have that, you're entitled to seek remedy. So once you can seek remedy before you get it, but it just reinforces the point that the ICO also found in your favor, you know.
Did you see Chris Brooks this week? He was saying about getting supermarkets to do it, or going to your supermarket and asking for all your data, or for all your anywhere where you were recording the camera.
You can do it to any company, any company that processes data. So I don't know if you remember when you set up the limited company, you would have got a letter from basically saying data protection. You have to pay so much money or say that you don't collect data or something, and you have to return that. So essentially, they record all companies that are taking information. So any company that holds personally identifiable information about you, you can't just send it from your limited company. That won't work, obviously, because that's a company, right? It's only personal identifiable information. So name, address, date of birth, these types of things, you know, your a picture of your face, all these types of things, you know.
Yeah.
So just don't make the mistake of writing from the limited company when you do it. It literally has to be personal, right? So this is, again, you go back into the legal system. This is where I talk about you dip in and out of the legalese. You're taking control of the straw man. You're saying, I want all that personal information identified to that straw man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I constantly see people writing from the limited company asking for it, and they'll just ignore it because it's nothing when they do that, you know, and it's not enforceable.
It has to be done from the man.
Yeah, exactly.
I chased mine up recently by email, and they said that send anything that I wanted added or to, because they wouldn't look at it if there wasn't anything on my file, obviously. And they gave me an email to send it all to, and then I got a response on each email because I sent them a whole lot of stuff.
Okay, well that's fantastic. If you could share the email in the group chat, if you don't mind, just so people are aware. You can also just call them. So what happens is once you file it, you'll get assigned the case reference number, and then you can call them and then ask for the email. Once you quote that case reference number, say you have additional information. Like I have to contact the financial ombudsman soon because their website was limited on how much information I could give them, you know. And with financial stuff, obviously it's a lot of records, so I have to go ask them with my case number and then say, well, how do I submit more information, you know, because your site was limited. But that's a very fair point, Sandy.
I'm on the same computer that I've got it on, so I can't actually put it in the chat, but I'll put it in somewhere.
You can do it later, yeah, just later or something. Yeah, you don't do it right away.
Yeah.
But I would definitely, you know, if you filed a data subject access request, always remember to date it, right? Because people forget that as well. The most basic thing, put a date on the actual document so you can trace it back. take a picture with your phone so you know what's on it if you're handwriting them, so you have a copy, and then 30 days. If they haven't complied or requested an extension by then you can report them immediately. So I've just sent one off the other day. Again, another company just completely ignored it. They responded 30 days ago saying it's been passed to their data protection officer. They confirmed it in an email, and then I sent a chaser, and they're like, "Oh, what data subject access request?" So immediately just report them.
But the new letter from the ICO is now saying you've got to show that you tried to resolve it.
Yeah, of course. So what happens is, well, there's a difference. That's why I always say you send a chaser. Once the 30 days is up, you can still file it, but send a chaser. Hey, look, I haven't received your my DSAR request within the 30 days. You're in breach of the time frame. I'll give you an additional 7 days. If it's not resolved by then, I reserve all my rights. Something like that, just as an example. But you can have already, because it takes 24 weeks, you can already have just reported them on the 30-day mark and say, look, I did attempt. I would have cancelled it otherwise, but they didn't comply.
Yeah.
Darren, you have a question? Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Actually, yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. Yeah, just a quick question, mate, regarding data for a magistrate's court. Has anybody done that?
So I've just submitted a report to the ICO that a magistrate's court failed to comply with a data subject access request. Obviously, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I was just changing headset. Obviously, certain information they're allowed to withhold, especially in regards to cases, right? But not everything. So they can't just not respond, from my understanding, right? So I've recently just filed one, but again, I have to wait 24 weeks before I hear back about the court, because I had an ongoing case with council tax. The council weren't responding, the court weren't responding, so I DSAR'd both of them, and they both didn't respond and ignored me. And then I have a strike against the council with the ICO. They admitted that, they didn't respond. They even admitted to the ICO, the council, that they didn't bother to respond. So I have the option now to sue the council, and I'm hoping that will zero the council tax for that year. And, you just whatever, or the last 2 years, 3 years, is it? So hopefully I can just zero that amount with the amount that I'm getting, and then figure it out going forward after that,
Right, mine's exactly the same thing, Tegan. Exactly the same thing, council tax.
Yeah.
I said on the last one I had bailiffs, so I just thought I need to get my finger out really and start looking at this properly. So I thought if I know that the courts, magistrates, when I phoned them the other year when it happened, they knew nothing about it and told me to contact the council.
So that doesn't make sense. So when you see that on the council tax, how can the person that's suing you say contact them?
Exactly that.
It doesn't make sense. So you're not getting a fair trial.
No.
Everyone's entitled to a fair trial.
Yeah. So the minute I asked, when I asked the question about, I'm due to turn up at the court, she asked me, can I ask what it's about? I said, oh, yes, the council says, oh, so I'm very sorry you have to contact the council about it. I said, well, I've got an appointment. I've got a summons sitting in front of me here saying that I've got to not attend. I wasn't allowed to attend for some reason.
Also a violation of your rights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just shocking that they've been able to get away with this. Absolutely shocking. But this is why I'm always saying the only way we can effectively win going forward is to remove their judicial immunity, because at least, police, you can hold them liable. Even people in government, you can hold them liable. But the courts, with this judicial immunity, you can't really go after the judges, right?
Right.
So we should all be pressing to remove judicial immunity on every goddamn group possible, because you hear about these stupid rulings, and then someone put a meme online on Facebook. Okay, it was a stupid meme, but go to jail for 3 years for a meme? Like, what the hell? And then someone's killing someone and they're getting off in like a couple of months, So we have to hold these judges liable, and it's just so corrupt and rampant throughout the whole system. We've got no recourse. So keep pushing for removing judicial immunity on everything you see. When I do it on posts, I notice I get a lot of pushback from lawyers in the bar society, and they make all these threats, but just document it, because when they do that, they're in breach of their oath and duties for the bar society, and you can report them as well. So always record it if you think it's a lawyer or they admit they're a lawyer.
when I send it in, they will reply if there was any liability order or warrant or whatever. They will send that information, will they?
Well, that's why I say any and all information. They can't just say I didn't know. You know, that's literally why I say any and all information. If you didn't comply with that, how am I meant to know? And you do the same for the council. How are you meant to defend yourself if you don't know what you're doing? And I ask for the complaint as well. So you want the complaint that was filed to the court. Normally what they do is they use something called a CSV file. That's just like an Excel file, an older version of an Excel file where they just have a bulk, huge amount of names and addresses in it. And it goes to the court. And the court just click a button on a computer system and it just liability order approved. It doesn't even go to a judge. But the thing is, when you do go in front of a judge, they're just corrupt judges as well. So
it's my understanding of that is by them doing it like that in a bulk process, is that not, does that not void it, or am I wrong on that?
The whole thing is they control the system. When do they ever follow the law? You know, this is the problem, right? So that's why you want them to be in more debt than you. So if you can get them on the data breaches, harassment, stress, duress, these types of things as an example, you know, you can claim for that as well. And then if they do share your information after that with an enforcement agent, these are the enforcement agent as well.
Yeah, I was going to say my first step was to find out exactly what the court. Obviously, if the court do reply and it comes back with no, then obviously that's over to the council.
Yeah. You mentioned they had an enforcement agent before. Well, do you mind explaining what happened with that?
Yes, so obviously from the first liability order, which was the other year, last year, the year before,
yeah.
It was handed to enforcement Cedar Group. I had some emails from them, and I sent them a couple of like template letters I got from a different group. I'm trying to think what it was. Might have been the knock challenge or something like that. Eventually, this was to and fro over a few months. Bailiff turned up at the door. Just posted a hand letter through the letterbox. I then sent them another email. Nothing ever become of it, and then it went. They handed it back to the council. Then I think I said to you on the last meeting that I had two bailiffs turn up here from a different group, Stanford and Green, same thing, but this was two of them. Turned up, ignored the signs on the gate. Peered over the neighbour's fence to see if I had the dog was loose, because I've got a sign on the thing saying the dog's loose. Then I'll come through the gate. Got them on camera, reading the notices and peering over the neighbour's fence. Same thing, hand letter. I actually contacted the guy. I checked to see if he was a verified bailiff, and they were trying to enforce the second liability order. I usually return all the mail, so I wasn't aware that I'd got this second. But yes, apparently this is for council tax, and they haven't been back. They said they was coming back within 48 hours. That was 3 weeks ago. Haven't been back. I spoke to the guy. He was registered bailiff. I said to him, I said, look, I said, at the end of the day, I said, I need to send you the copy of the liability. Oh, you have to go to the council for that. I said, well, you're coming to my house, mate. You should have it. And if you're coming from the court, you should have a warrant as well. It needs to be signed and everything else. I said, so if you're coming back to the property, no problem, but make sure you've got all the paperwork in place.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a liability order is not a warrant.
No. But to come to a property, to
they need a warrant, right?
Need a warrant, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they have no warrant, so they're pulling a fast one with you.
So yeah, whether or not I hear any more from the future, but I never even had a letter from them. Well, I say I never had a letter from them. I don't think I had a letter from them. I say anything that's not in my name, I don't. I'll return it. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. No. Just keep us updated, because they're always changing their tactics and what they do. So it's just important that we all keep updated on what they're doing, because if they try something new, we need to be able to know about it and how to tackle it. And always obviously make sure the doors are locked. Always talk from like an upstairs window, because they push past you these types of things if you do engage with them.
I live in a masonette, mate, and I'm upstairs, so.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. It's like same thing. If the police come, you don't open the door, don't go out, talk them through an upstairs window. You don't have to let them in if there's no warrant, because
Yeah.
they just pushed past you and let the bailiffs in illegally, you know.
No, thanks, mate. Cheers. I'll keep you posted if anything else happens.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All right. Chris, how you doing, buddy? You had quite a few questions the last time. How's everything?
It's all right. It's a bit stressful and tiring. So I've just got a few things really. The first one is Santander. I don't know if you remember from before. They contacted my father, and I reported it to the ICO.
Yeah.
They've now done the same thing with apparently this company that is now trying to claim the money. So they've done the same thing again. They've started harassing my 75-year-old father, but through a different company now. So I've got to report that again to the ICO.
Yeah, also DSAR that other company. So you know how they got the information. You have a paper trail. So that other company that contacted your father, send a data subject access request, right? Again, they got the 30 days to comply. You want to see the handover request, you know, from Santander to them, and then you can hold Santander liable again. And then that's another breach, another ICO filing, you know.
Okay, cool.
You can already make the complaint, but you need information. So that's why the DSAR is better, you know. I'm guessing if they just made a phone call, you don't have proof, you know.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll file it, and then obviously I think I'll ask for things.
When you file it, they're going to ask for proof, right? So
Okay.
do you have any proof other than the call that they did to your father? Or
No. Yeah. Sorry, they sent text messages.
Okay, use the text messages. So
I've copied them. Yeah, they've sent 4 or 5 text messages to my dad's phone.
Okay, fantastic. So do that.
Another thing was just an energy company came to the house. It's the second time they've come within like 4 months. Utility warehouse. They're called Churchill Recovery.
Mm-hmm.
I answered the door. Actually, I didn't open the door. I answered the door. I told them to basically do one. I said to him, I was recording at the same time. I said, well, if you're recording, so am I recording.
Well, they have to notify you if they're recording. So did he notify you that they were recording?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I told them to stop. And then I told them to read the sign on the door, and then they left quite quickly.
What was the sign you had up? What was the sign?
The notice of removal.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Always get them to show their ID if you can, and check both sides of it, because what from my experience, what I realize is a lot of the time their IDs are out of date and stuff.
Okay, I don't know. I did that. I then caught them hanging around the corner, so I tried to give them a notice of removal in their hand, and then we got an email the day after saying they're changing our meters to prepaid meters, but I'm assuming they can't do that without entering the house.
They'll apply for a warrant, maybe.
Oh, really?
That they could apply for it. Do you own the house?
Yeah.
You're renting it, or you own it? And is your name on the land registry, or?
Own.
Yeah, and is your name on the land registry?
Yes.
Okay. They would have to apply for a court warrant of entry. So is it that it was like to the occupier and you stopped paying, or was the bill in your name and stopped paying, or what? Do you mind answering that, or is it too personal?
No, so we just obviously we just stopped paying utility warehouse since maybe July.
So you didn't shut the account down first or anything?
No, I didn't shut the account down. We just stopped paying. Obviously, I'm in these other groups, so I just stopped paying, and then obviously they've sent 2 people around. One person admitted to reading the notice of removal and still continued, so I sent them an invoice for that.
And did you chase the invoice?
I've been chasing the invoice like monthly, and then obviously adding extra charges and stuff. For my time. And then obviously someone came last week.
I would DSAR them too. How did they get your data?
Okay.
Cool. You want the paper records. You need to be able to defend yourself. And there's no point in reacting when they try. They're just going to say there's a court case in 2 days or something. They'll send you a notification, real late. So you want that to be able to defend yourself, So I would DSAR them, data subject access request. Again, you want any information they have on you, yada, yada, yada,
Okay, I'll do that. I might have done it last week, but I'll make sure I've done it.
Yeah. You should always remove yourself just going forward if you're doing something like that. Shut the account down first. It's more difficult connecting an occupier to you than where you already have an open account and you just stop paying. Just if you're in these other groups, yeah. No, not legal advice. I'm not qualified to give legal advice. Just saying.
I should have cleared the balance. I should have cleared the balance first, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
And then share down. Okay, I'll remember that for the future. And there's other stuff, but it's just it's tiring. It's very tiring.
Yeah, no, and always keep your diary or your Excel spreadsheet or whatever.
Yeah, so basically in a nutshell, I lost, for some bizarre reason, my Excel spreadsheet is missing bits. Maybe I didn't save it after a while, so I'm just going back.
Keep it on Google Drive or something, so it's always, you never have to worry about that.
I'm just going back because I take a lot of voice notes. So I'm just going back from my voice notes and emails and trying to fit in gaps from where it wasn't saved and stuff. But
okay.
It is very tiring, the whole process.
Dude, you just keep it up there because you are going to need this. They won't have like a little diary thing like this going forward. So you'll be able to reference every communication and say, actually, no, I did send this. You didn't respond here. Or you violated my rights here. Or, you said something illegal here.
I think the only thing I'm not so good at is the post. I don't always diarise the post.
You need to do that if it's relevant. A lot of posts you can throw away, but if they're threatening you or you have a court case or an alleged debt or a debt collection agent or anything like that, you should be logging that. What company, what date, because obviously the date you received is different to the date on the letter. They backdate things quite a lot. They could be like, you must respond in a week, and then you only got it like a month later. To do tricks like that, you have to document these types of things.
Yeah,
quick summary of what was in it, and then just if you respond, obviously who you're responding to, the date, and a little summary of what you sent them. Yeah.
I do have a quick question about companies. So I've got a company which I'm shutting down, which has got a loan on it. And I basically went to shut it down, but it got rejected because I think I owe HMRC a couple £100 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going through the process, and then all of a sudden I got a letter on the first of the month saying my company's been dissolved. So it got rejected because obviously you've got to go to the Gazette, hasn't it? It goes in the Gazette, etc. And then I got a letter on the first of the month saying it will be dissolved the following day. So
that's good. All right, dissolved is gone. Fine.
Okay, so if it's dissolved, what am I assuming with like the loan and what I owe HMRC? What is that going to just go? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I went to mute there for a sec. If the company's gone and they dissolved it, I think they made a mistake. So I think you might be off the hook there.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, because I got something rejecting it. Then they have a time period to undissolve it, so to speak, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they can only remember is if it's a limited liability company, it's limited liability, so they could only go after company assets. The company had no assets, so you're not generally personally liable, right? If it was a limited company, you didn't sign personal guarantees or you didn't do anything fraudulent,
Yeah. Okay.
So even if they did do something, that's the beauty with a limited liability. They could only go after company assets. So if the company had nothing, what are they going to go after?
Okay, fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you. I did have a bit more, but it's fine. Thank you.
You can go ahead if you want, please. Still have 30 minutes. I don't know if you have more questions.
Well, I think one of those companies... that's fine. I'll let someone else speak. Yeah, I'll let someone else speak if there's any more time.
I don't know if anyone else has another question, so we'll just go around tech. Does anyone else have any questions, or can Chris continue? Don't think anyone else has any questions. No one's saying anything.
Chris
Oh, you
can
do?
carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris can go. Yeah, Chris, yeah, continue.
So the other things about not receiving. I know I've asked this before about not receiving information for a CCJ that's gone against my name. I know I've asked this before, but I've kind of not heard anything after going back and forth. So I don't know if I should.
Did you contact the court?
I contacted the court. I can't remember exactly what point.
Did you say you were notified?
That's it. I said I wasn't notified.
And what did they say?
They took 2 months to come back to me. Also, no. I also spoke to the company that did it, and they've got no proof. They've got no proof of sending me anything because obviously it was just done via post.
Yeah.
And not recorded delivery. So I'm kind of, because my job's in the financial industry, and I think they're going to ask for
a background check, right? Obviously. So they must prove that the service was served correctly and it was done correctly. So if they can't prove it, you just get it set aside, request the court to set aside. So you contact normally the County Court Business Centre, the CCBC or something it's called.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously you'll have a claim number, claimant, date of judgment, address used, So I would just ask to set aside. So use it's called an N244 form. So N244 form. And that's to apply to set aside a judgment. And then obviously the grounds are you did not receive the claim. You have reasonable prospect of defending the claim. I think there's a court cost fee of like £275. It may be waived if you're low income. So you may have to pay that, I'm not sure, and then, just attach a draft defense, very short, showing the dispute, an explanation of why you did not respond. Obviously, you were never notified, and then just request a hearing fee be waived or included in the cost if it's set aside as granted, I do that quite quickly.
That's my question today. After I've done this form, this is the reason why I've not done it. After I've done this form, then obviously, is it? I don't know. I think in my head, I'm worried that I'm going to spend the money on the form, and it's just going to come back to me. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah. So what will happen is you'd have to go to a court case. So I don't know what the CCJ was for. So either they'll try again, or it'll just be set aside. It depends what the company does, But in the meantime, you'll have passed that background check for work.
Yeah, and then obviously, or the other alternative that I did think short term was pull it on a debt management company, just so my company can see
you've done something.
Yeah, I'm doing something, and then obviously my company won't bother me for a year when they do the next one.
Yeah, so it's done every year, is it?
Yeah. You think that's a good idea?
You could try to just get it set aside, Like, obviously, many employers, they run credit checks, right? So you said you worked in the financial services type roles or something, So I think you should set it aside. I don't see the issue with that, but it depends on costs and money,
Yeah. Okay. I just thought that was that could possibly be another option because of the short term, just to do that, and then obviously fight the battle for a year or what? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Unless you qualify for help with fees, but that's like an EX 160 form. But you probably don't, It's kind of annoying.
I don't think I'll qualify for that, but yeah. Okay, right. Thank you.
No problem. Does anyone else have any other questions? Sorry, someone waiting to come in, sir.
Hey, Tegan, it's Steve here.
Hey, dude. Hey, Steve. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah. Hey, then. Sorry, I popped in a little bit late there at the end. It seems so. Back on these camera forms that kind of come in. I think it was Richard Vobes was kind of saying if you didn't sign it, and it did go to court, then it wasn't admissible.
Yeah, so they're forcing you to sign them now, right?
Yeah, they are forcing you to sign them now. So it's kind of. So my question was, I know, and so it's just a question. If you signed it and said signed under duress. I mean, obviously, I would put all rights reserved on that document when I send it back. Does that have any sort of significance in law at all? I mean, I know you're not a lawyer, but just not.
Well, you should always reserve your rights. But why not? There's nothing wrong with reserving your rights.
Yeah. But
like,
using
there's
your
nothing negative.
signature signed under duress, does that have any?
Well, if it's under duress, they can't use it, from my understanding.
Right. So they
But
can't.
they'll just come back to it again, you know.
What's that?
Obviously, you know, if like I'm guessing this is for speeding, right? You have normally 28 days once you get the letter to respond. You know, obviously, if you weren't driving, they'd want to know who had access to the car, or any steps you'd taken to find out who had access. But you know, anyone could have driven your car. You don't know. But the thing is their face on the picture or something? You also probably want to be careful as well.
No, it's just
they may request further evidence, you know. But you know, if you can prove that you weren't driving or you were somewhere else at the time, and you don't know who was driving, like you've attempted to reach out to people, you could have created 15 email addresses, you know, and reached out to them. I don't know. Did you drive?
Yeah, because you can't and legally complete that document if you don't know who the person is, right?
Well, exactly. Like, so, and when you do send it back to them eventually, they may interview under caution. But if you don't know who was driving and it wasn't you, and you can prove it wasn't you, you know, they'll try to scare you into whatever. But if it really wasn't you driving, you know,
and you really don't know who it is, and you've gone,
there's nothing you can do, right? If you own the car outright, I know most people don't have them on hire purchase or PCP. The best option is to put it in a trust, you know, and the trust can have trustees, you know, and you don't know who took it in the trust, you know.
Yeah.
No, nobody is owning up to it, you know.
Sure. Okay. Cool. That's all. Thanks.
You wanted to show that you're reaching out, trying to figure out who was driving the car. You don't know, you know, and then send it to them.
Yeah.
Because just make sure you can prove that it wasn't you, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
No problem. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Teresa's got a hand.
Oh, hi, Teresa. Hi.
Oh, hi. Yes.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. That reminded me, Steve. Thanks, because I've got a speeding notice. So my car is under trust, so it's not under my name. Mm-hmm. And the police have written to me saying, you know, tell us who was driving the car. So I thought, well, maybe I could write back and say, well, seeing as, you know, no crime has been committed and, you know, assuming nobody's been hurt or maimed, then it'll go to the trust meeting, which happens annually, which is next year now. And we can ask the question then, who was driving? Do you think that's...
Well, the law only requires you to show that you tried to be everything reasonably possible to find out who was driving. If you don't know, for example, it's in a trust, you know, you don't know who the trustees are. You may not know that, right? So just you could be reaching out to email addresses saying, "Were you driving my car?" You know, no, nothing responded. You know, it could be a dummy email address for all you know. You know, there's just certain things.
It's not even my car, is it? It's just.
Yeah, but if you don't know who was driving, you're not lying. But just show that you tried to show them. You know, it wasn't you driving and stuff like this. You know.
I should ask for photographic. I could ask for photographic evidence to see who, if they can see.
You just want to be careful. Yeah, they don't have your picture on it or something.
Yeah.
But if you're under a trust, though, wouldn't you just say that you're simply a beneficiary of it, and you don't know?
Yeah, you're not the owner of the car. Why aren't they writing to the trust?
Yeah, but then would then put the trusts?
Well, obviously that would be registered on the. Well, it's up to them to figure it out. If they're asking who's managing the trust, just say, "Well, you don't know." Yeah, or reach out to the trust and ask.
Yeah.
But you know, the police are not obliged, from my understanding, to provide the information, but they often do, like camera photos and stuff like that. So they're often pretty good with providing that if you ask for it.
Yeah, they do give you a link that you can go on and see the sort of the photographic evidence that they have.
Yeah.
But every time I've gone on had a look, it's always the rear of the car.
Yeah, a lot of the time they put them at angles, so it only picks up the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just be careful, because sometimes they have them connected with the road infrastructure. They just haven't
With
released
the what side?
the road infrastructure. So like national highways and stuff like that have multiple cameras on smart motorways and stuff,
Oh, okay.
and bus lane cameras, and that they just don't show you that they have other angles, you know.
Ah, right.
But you can always ask them
Yeah.
for the disclosure again, DSAR, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Nice one. I've also I've got a bank loan which has basically gone to, they've handed it over to, they've sold it to Cabot Financial. So Cabot Financial are taking me to court. So whilst they're doing that, I have sent them a request for the deed of assignment, and I've done a DSAR on them.
Yeah.
And I've also filed a complaint on the solicitor for the court processes, which are very confusing.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to hear back from them, but Cabot, they've sent me the best DSAR I've ever received, quite frankly. It's just so organised, and it actually shows how much harassment they've inflicted on me with the amount of phone calls they've bombarded me with, and it's like, wow, it's like pages and pages.
You can use it against them, and then you know.
Yeah, but on there, there's a notice of assignment from the bank to me and from Cabot to say, you know, we've now bought this loan, but there's nothing between the bank and Cabot to say, you know, there's been a deed of assignment of this loan. So
Yeah.
you know, there must have been my data shared.
Just be careful, because a notice of assignment is not the same as a deed of assignment, right? So
That's
a deed of
right.
assignment is the actual full legal document between the original creditor, I'm guessing the bank here, and then Cabot Financial transferring ownership of the debt. So it must contain like commercial terms, schedules of assigned accounts, signatures and terms of sale. You know, it's a private contract between those two parties. Now, what a notice of assignment is, that comes under, I think it's Section 136 of the Law of Property Act 1925. So for the assignment to be legally enforceable against you, you know, they must have written notice of assignment with the deed of assignment, sorry, and the notice informs you that you're in debt, blah, 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 you know. So you're entitled to ask for that, and they should be giving it to you.
I've asked for the deed of assignment, and they've not given it to me. Amongst
That's
this huge wad of paper, it's massive.
Yeah, it's designed to obviously be daunting, you know. So you're like, oh my god, what do I do here?
Well, I find it quite interesting. I thought, oh right, I wonder. I'm looking for things that, you know, maybe they shouldn't have data on me, but no, it's all it's quite bland. But there's just lots of it. There's lots of harassment calls.
Well, just use it against them.
So anyway, I'll keep you all up to date, because with I don't know if it will actually even go to court, because if I've got a complaint against a solicitor, mind you, it could do, couldn't it? Because I could then say to the judge, you know, they've not followed due process.
So anyway, just, you know, these are them, the solicitor as well.
I did, yeah, and they came back to me and said it was Cabot who have got all
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If Cabot has sent them data, they have to respond. But if they haven't responded within the 30 days, send them a reminder 7 days, and then file an ICO breach. Because if they're working on behalf of another company, they need data to do that. They can't just file something to the court and not know anything about the case, right? How do they know stuff? There must be an email, there must be an attachment of a document or something, right? So just use it against them. Again, not legal advice, just food for thought as an example.
Yeah, I think I just permitted them to just to accept what they said, that, you know, they're not the ones who are holding the data, it's Cabot. So
are they a data processor, or are they or what are they doing with the data? You know, ask the solicitor.
Yeah, I will. I'll go back to them, actually.
I'm just trying to find the GDPR thing on data processor, or there's another word that they used, or controller. That's the word I wanted, right? So solicitors, for example, when they're acting on behalf of a recovery, are typically data controllers, and they're not processing, right? So they determine the purpose and means of processing your data in the context, basically, of the case only. And they act independently, but they should still have information, right? So what did they say on your DSAR? Did they say they're a data controller?
I will.
Or
I'll
a data
I
processor?
haven't got it in front of me, but I will revisit that and just pick it apart and just see what they did describe themselves as. So if they're describing themselves as a data controller, then they should have
Well, exactly right.
sharing the data, yeah. But then what if they say they're just processing it on behalf of?
They still have to disclose them because they have access to it. So the case I have against a mobile phone company, I DSAR'd the solicitor again. They admitted they're a data controller and they didn't disclose everything. So they're using the DSAR that it was never provided to me against me, and then they're just not giving me the information. So it's a really weird situation I'm in, but I can go after them for that.
All right, yeah, good point.
There's just ways, you know, that they'll always trick themselves up.
Yeah, I've got a couple of complaints in now with the ICO, and I've got a third one to file as well.
Just be aware, solicitors are usually data controllers when they use it to pursue legal action, because they need to prepare documents, gather evidence, and present your data in court. So they can't be they'd have to be a controller, of the data, you know. And if they are a processor, they have to tell you who the data controller is, and then they cannot just simply ignore your DSAR. They must also comply with that, from what I'm reading online as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just put pressure on them as well.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Good questions though. I didn't remember all the names. I have to go back and check it online. Any other questions, Teresa?
No, that's it for the moment. I'll just I'll go on mute again.
Apologies, my cat is here meowing if you hear him. Does anyone else have any other questions? No? Silence? We can cut it then if no one else has any other questions. I will.
Yes, I have a question actually.
Oh, hi. You were breaking up.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes. Hi. Who's this?
Wonderful. It's Donna.
Hi, Donna.
I have a question regarding fake summons that I received. Having done some ground homework before on, fake summons, and, you know, no signature, and 4 pieces of legislation broken by the council in question that I've relayed to them more explicitly. What shall I expect now? I just basically told them that unless they cease and desist, one of the legislation that they are in breach of is the Local Government Act 78, Section 2, basically fraud. And if they persist, I told them that I report them. What shall I expect? Is it predictable?
I would DSAR the court and ask for all the information, specifically the complaint that was filed against you to the court. So the information the council are using against you to do this. So you want to have that complaint information, and I would.
But which courts? Okay.
The court that they named the summons on it. So they'll say you are summoned to whatever court.
Magistrate court.
Yeah. So DSAR to that court. And specifically ask for any and all information I have of you and the complaint. Yeah, you want to know what's going on, and then I'm guessing the summons also states that do not you're not allowed to attend the summons without contacting the council, and if you do want to do it, you have to contact the council. I'm guessing it says that as well, or something like that. That's a breach of Article 6, I believe it is, of the Human Rights Act. So right to a fair trial. How can you have a fair trial if you have to contact the people that are suing you? If the courts are meant to be impartial. So just remember that, yeah?
I'm jotting it down. I have a question. Is it possible to DSAR the court online, or do you have to send a physical
you have to send a physical, and I would do it by tracked post. So you can have a signature one, first class, that's a bit expensive, like £8, or you can do one that's like £3.75, where it's just proof of delivery.
Yeah, I always do that, but because I'm going away, I just thought, okay.
Are
I
you on the website, or are you on just the normal Telegram?
I talking with you, Telegram.
There's I'll put like just a generic DSAR in the limited company process after this, and you can just copy and paste it, add your information, and just send it. Just a very generic one, yeah. And they have obviously 30 days to respond before you go off on holiday. Are you going off this weekend or tomorrow, or?
Yeah, I'm going very soon. So
would you be able to print it off tonight and send it tomorrow in the morning or something?
No.
Could one of your friends do it on your behalf?
Probably if I send it to them and they will just do it on my behalf. Yes, they could.
So you could have the document ready to just print it and post it, you know? Or you could just post it from abroad if you want. I don't know how much that would cost though.
Could you please repeat?
You could post it from abroad, but I don't know if they do like signature track and trace like they do in England.
No, I won't do that. No, let them know nothing. Okay, but can they wait like, a few days or not?
So it depends when your summons is. I don't know how long you have till the summons.
24th of July, which is, 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I would get it off as soon as possible, because you want to dispute the summons as well. So that's why you want to ask for the complaint information, everything, right?
Okay, I've sent them. I've sent them very.
Yeah, but you're sending this to the court, right? You want to hold the court responsible, because you want to get something called a judicial review if they go ahead with it. You want to show that they breached judicial policy, because how can they be impartial if they're putting the council in charge of everything, right?
Okay, I actually sent it to the clerk of justice. Yes.
Yeah, for the magistrates. So you put to the magistrate's clerk or the clerk, and you put the magistrate's address, whatever magistrate's court, and put their address, and then you would do the DSAR.
Okay, that. Okay, fine. Because I, even though there was no signature, it can be anybody. I addressed it to him.
Yeah, hold him liable. Why not?
Of course, yes. Okay, thank you so much. It's just, it will be tricky for me to find, nominate a friend to do it for me.
Yeah, well, I still think you need to be writing to the court, or not even a DSAR, just write to the court. You require this information to defend the summons. Please provide it,
Right, I do that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem, but great question.
Thank you.
No
problem.
Bye.
Bye.
Is there any other questions from anyone? No? If not, we can end the call here, and can have the next one in 2 weeks, so around the 25th, maybe. I'll do it on a Friday. It's probably better. So yeah, I'll book it in for the 25th of July, and then we can speak then. Have a good evening, everyone. Enjoy the nice sunny weather for the next 2 weeks. All the best.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye.